Hi everyone, this is Angie Wong and I'm president of Legacy Pack. I just want to thank all of our followers. We're close to 100,000 followers on Facebook and we've only been around for a few short months. So thank you again. I'm going to ask you for your continued support leading up to 2024. Please donate to legacy-pac.org. That's legacy-pac.org. Thank you, and we'll see you on the campaign trail.
We're sitting here too much. But you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down, first of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes. Great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald at Legacy PAC and Veterans for Trump. I'm here with my friend Gabrielle Fox, who's running for State House in Florida. How are you this morning, Gabrielle?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. This is an endorsement interview. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
So I am basically a Florida native at this point. This is actually my 20th year here in Florida. I moved to Florida when I was basically still a teenager, and this has been my home for the past 20 years. It's, where I work, where I'll raise my family, and obviously where I'd like to see some things change as I'm running for office. My educational background is in actually psychology and business administration. I've worked in a variety of different fields. The first 10 years I was in Florida, I actually lived on the West Coast over near Sarasota, Fort Myers area, and lived on a ranch essentially that I built in a past relationship of mine, and had 12 to 15 different species of animals. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Looking in Jupiter Farms right now for the right property for my fiance and I. That being said, we're getting married in June. He is a firearm instructor, and he also owns a firearm boutique. And he's lived in Florida his entire life. And we're looking forward to the next year or two and starting our family, and just sort of making sure that Florida is not just red, but truly conservative red, not rhino red, here for our family and others as well.
So I know you've gotten involved in some activities over the years. You had ran a Palm Beach Women's for Trump.
Yes, a friend of mine and I just saw that there wasn't really a cohesive group in Palm Beach, but I knew there was a lot of ladies in Palm Beach that definitely supported President Trump. So we just put together an event. We have a Facebook page. It's nothing official yet. I have spoken to the Trump team, and we're hoping to make it a little bit more official later this year. They've got a lot on their plate right now, as you can imagine, with everything going on with the former president. So, yep, it was a great event with a lot of wonderful ladies from the community.
And you also got involved with something called PBC Rise Up. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So that was actually something I created because I saw that there was a big disconnect with the public perception of what was going on with child trafficking. And, what the media was saying. People thought that this was some sort of, Pizzagate Hollywood thing. And I personally had a friend that worked in, she was an EMT, and she rescued a young girl the age of, I believe, 5 years old from her family in Boca Raton. And she had to perform the health check on her and everything. And she was being actively trafficked out of her home by her own family. And she said that they get calls like this all the time, and I couldn't believe it. And, I obviously had a very emotional reaction, and I said, people need to be more educated on this. So I started this group on Facebook. It actually grew quite quickly, and we decided to do a march downtown West Palm. We actually ended up doing 2 marches downtown West Palm, just to kind of go get out into the community and educate people, hoping, people would come up and ask questions, and they did. So that was what that was. And I met a lot of wonderful people that also felt the same way during that time.
Well, thank you for fighting against human trafficking and protecting our children. And we have some programs with our veterans group that I'll connect you with
That'd
that
be
do the
great.
same. So can you tell us a little bit about your platform? What are some of the major issues you're going to be tackling as a future state legislator?
So one of the main issues, and as everybody has seen, is the schools. There's something going on in our schools, and I think that it's very insidious. It's spreading. The number of children that are identifying suddenly as, having gender confusion and non-binary and all these different things is it's skyrocketing. And the social contagion, it's coming from somewhere. A lot of it could be social media, but I think a lot of it is happening in the schools. And there are things that we need to be doing to make sure that not only are our teachers not pushing any sort of ideology on children, but that they're being taught things that are going to help them in the future and keep them grounded, in reality and in acceptance, true acceptance of themselves, and just keeping families safer from a lot of this dangerous rhetoric that we've seen has obviously resulted in violence in many cases. So making sure Florida schools are free from those sort of ideologies is one of the main issues that I want to push forth in the legislation. Another is Florida families, like many families in the U.S., have been hit with the inflation issues. Looking for ways that we can make Florida a little bit more sovereign as far as our food supply. Florida has a lot of wonderful farmland. The district that I'm running in is one of the best districts for that. And I just think with our budget surplus that we've had in the past year, a couple of years with our governor, and our strong agricultural, potential, we can really help keep costs a little bit lower for Florida families, which I know has affected many.
And you're also working on constitutional carry and defending our Constitution.
So one good thing that has happened, and even though it is limited, is that our governor has passed the permitless carry in Florida, which many people are happy about. I'm obviously happy with any progress. I do see the arguments on both sides for having true open carry or constitutional carry versus having this permitless carry. I think a lot of people's main concern with sort of taking the guardrails off is that we've had this mental health crisis going on in the country, and they do want there to be some barrier to entry, I guess, for obtaining a firearm. But there are many states, 26, I believe, that have constitutional carry right now. So that's an issue that, although we've got permitless carry now, I believe it comes into effect July 1st. Making sure that stays where it is at a minimum is definitely something that hits close to home because of obviously what my fiance does for a living, and just the fact that there are lots of single moms in this state that they need something to equalize the playing field, and being able to carry a firearm is very important for their protection as well as their children.
Amen to that. And before I let you go, current national news. Can you comment for us on the arrest, actually, of President Trump?
So we all know that this is politically motivated. If he would have just gone away after the 2020 election mess, I'll call it, they wouldn't be going after him anymore. They have to prove a point. They want to prevent him somehow from running again. They want to turn the middle off, you know, the moderates and the independents. They want to turn them off from voting for him by having him under, you know, an open investigation and open indictment. And I just think it's completely politically motivated. And I hope that this corrupt DA is brought to account. And, you know, using our judicial system against political opponents is what communist countries do. It shouldn't be happening in America. So I hope that someone in the, you know, upper levels of government, whether it be somehow through our congressional committees, or I dare say the DOJ. I do know that the feds are, you know, they passed on this. So they're not really behind this either. But then again, I don't think they're really on President Trump's side either. So we'll see how it shakes out. But nobody really thinks they have a case. And I just hope that justice prevails and this is done away with.
As do we, and thank you. You've been highly recommended to our board by one of our ambassadors, Greg Asselbeacon, who's on the ground in Palm Beach. And as you know, Palm Beach is the Trump center of Republican politics. So we were able to quickly research you, and people like the work you're doing and the effort you're making to help save America. So I can announce this morning that you've been endorsed by Veterans for Trump with a unanimous vote. So congratulations, and we'll get that out in the media by tomorrow.
Great. As a side note, I was adopted as a teenager, and my adopted parents were both veterans. One was 12 years in the Air Force, and one was 20 years in the U.S. Navy. So I also have a brother, an adopted brother, who was in the Navy. No, he was a CB in the Air Force. And then another cousin adopted as well, adopted family that was in the Marines. So a lot of military in my life.
Well, you come from a great military family, and you're going to do great things for the state of Florida and this country. And we will talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Bye-bye now.
So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do, because America is worth saving.
We support the next generation of conservative leaders. We just want good, solid patriots. They're not embedded in like the establishment.
I am a political outsider. By trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period, end of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.